Welcome to the College of Communications news for October 12th, 2010. We'll have the complete weather forecast in a few moments. I'm Travis Patterson. The first of 33 trapped miners is expected to be brought to the surface in Chile this evening. Reporter Luke Skirpon has more on this story.
After being trapped underground for 68 days, miners are expected to start being rescued this evening in Chile. With mining disasters happening more frequently in the past few years, including several in West Virginia and the 2002 Q Creek mining accident here in Pennsylvania, some wonder just how safe mining is. Penn State Mining Program Director Mark Radomski explains.
Mines are very hazardous. There are just many ways to get injured. But, we have a safety management system. They're imperfect. They don't always work.
Since the mine collapsed on August 5th, engineers have been working together to formulate a plan in order to save the miners. Radomski says that the rescue process is not a quick one.
You have to take your time, you have to do it right, and there are things that go wrong. There are always delays. I think in the Q Creek drill hole there were, bits that broke off and, mechanical failure.
During the rescue process, the capsule will take about an hour to make a round trip. Radomski says it's hard to imagine the gratitude the miners will have for being rescued.
It's hard to imagine if we put ourselves in their shoes, what they went through and what they're going through. So I think their gratitude would be almost immeasurable.
Reporting for ComRadio, I'm Luke Skirpon.
No progress has been made in Harrisburg today on a natural gas tax in Pennsylvania. Additional discussion is set for tomorrow at the Capitol, but Democrats and Republicans remain split on the issue, according to the Senate President. The House passed a bill on September 29th in favor of the tax, but the Senate questioned legal problems with the bill and did not take action. County and municipal governments in the Commonwealth support the tax, which is becoming a largely contested discussion in the governor's race. Pennsylvania is the largest natural gas production state that does not have a set tax. A major conference has been underway at the Penn State Conference Center focused on the Marcellus Shale drilling here in the Commonwealth and beyond. Over 400 gas and oil industry leaders, as well as those with community and environmental concerns, are attending. There are many concerns about environmental impact of drilling in various communities and farmland. Robert Kirchner owns a snowmobile business and is at the conference to show how it's helped his business.
Marcellus development is going to be good for the majority of small businesses. I've heard anecdotally about a pizza shop up in Mansfield that was making 250, 300 pizzas a weekend, is now making 2,000.
Kirchner believes Marcellus Shale is here to stay, and the conference is working with communities to find a solution for everybody. State College Police Chief Tom King says that 4 students who were stabbed over the weekend were released from the hospital. The non-student victim is still hospitalized but is not in critical condition. King also said he plans to pursue misdemeanor, riot, and disorderly conduct charges for anyone to be connected with the incidents. Bedbugs continue to be a problem in the northeastern states, including Pennsylvania. Exterminations against bugs are scheduled to begin this afternoon in the Community College of Allegheny County in downtown Pittsburgh. A trained dog was brought in Sunday to inspect the area when bedbugs were found in 6 suites at the end of last week. College officials say some classrooms at the college will be closed until next Monday while the exterminations take place. In local news, State College area school board members decided Monday night that Penn State spring break and State College School's spring break did not need to line up with each other, despite last year when 1,500 community members signed a petition calling for State College schools to have a 10-day spring break that aligned with Penn State's. The board members drafted 13 guidelines that they hope will work and keep the board and schools on track. Penn State students have a reason to be excited, as more representation in the State College Borough Council could be on the horizon. Reporter Bom Bernardino has more on the story.
Penn State students could possibly have a voice on the State College Borough Council table. On Monday, during a work session, Borough Council members talked about a proposed ordinance. This ordinance would make a spot for an official position for an appointed member from the University Park Undergraduate Association to act as a link to council members about issues students find to be important. State College residents voiced their opinion on this possibility.
I think that any town that has a student population that equals the size of the town itself should have a representative of that student population on the Borough Council.
I think it's a great idea because it'll keep the lines of communication open between students on campus and the borough people downtown.
Another approval of this proposal comes from Penn State student Jessica Meter.
I think it's an excellent idea to have a student liaison on the panel, especially just because State College is connected to University Park. They're right next to each other. The school does a lot for the community and vice versa. Having that connection will just build up the relationship.
Overall, it seems that most people are excited and looking forward to this possible student liaison on the Borough Council.
Reporting for ComRadio, that was Bob Bernardino. After a short break, we'll be back with more news as well as the weather.
That song is so cool. Yowzer the soda bottle here along with Cruiser the car tire.
Right, listen up. Do you know I can be recycled into new products like soaker hoses?
And if you think that's cool, listen to this. I can be recycled to make t-shirts. No joke.
You might say we never get tired of recycling.
Yeah, whatever.
For information, call 1-800-346-4242. Sponsored by the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, Edward Rendell, Governor.
If you had invested $50 in a mutual fund 20 years ago, you would have gotten back $452. If you had invested $50 in the United Negro College Fund, you would have gotten back Samuel L. Jackson. By giving to the United Negro College Fund, you can make sure high school graduates get their chance to become college graduates. So please support the United Negro College Fund. To donate, call 1-800-332-UNCF. Because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. This message brought to you by the Ad Council.
A demolition worker was injured yesterday in a building collapse. The condemned building in Pittsburgh fell around midday Monday. The injured man and a fellow worker were knocking bricks from a wall when the building collapsed. The injured worker was pinned under some rubble and debris for a small amount of time. Officials say the man's injuries were serious but did not appear life-threatening. This just in, a federal judge has issued an injunction which immediately stops the enforcement of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy in the military. The U.S. District Judge issued the ruling this afternoon saying the policy is unconstitutional. The decision was praised by gay rights organizations who said the decision accomplished what the White House and Capitol Hill could not. The U.S. Department of Justice has 60 days to appeal, but is under no obligation to do so, which would allow the decision to stand. With Breast Cancer Awareness Month in full swing, Altoona is preparing to make a large contribution. The 2010 American Cancer Society of Blair County Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk will take place on Saturday. The event will begin at 11 a.m. at the Penn State Altoona campus and is expected to attract over 600 breast cancer survivors, donors, and volunteers. For more information, call toll-free at 1-800-227-2345. The Eiffel Tower was closed again today because of a huge labor dispute across France. ComRadio reporter Jonathan Kapp has more on this story.
There is serious labor trouble today in France after major French unions voted to strike, canceling planes, trains, and even shutting down tourism to the Eiffel Tower. The demonstration is in response to a current government proposal to raise the retirement age by 2 years, from 60 to 62. More than 1 million people marched today in peaceful protest of the plan. Several unions have declared open-ended strikes, which could mean weeks before workers from oil, education, and transportation industries return to their jobs. The French government has refused to back down, citing increasing budget deficits and an attempt to save the national pension system. Similar strikes occurred in France in 2007 and 1995. Reporting for ComRadio, I'm Jonathan Kapp.
And here's today's weather from the Campus Weather Service. Today is partly cloudy skies with a high of 62 degrees, and tonight a low of 37 degrees. Wednesday, sunny skies and warm conditions with a high of 63 degrees and a low of 38. Thursday, things get a little wet with scattered showers throughout the day with a high of 51 degrees and a low of 40. Going into the weekend on Friday, showers are possible in the morning with clearing conditions throughout the day with a high of 52 degrees and a low of 39 degrees. Saturday is mostly sunny skies with calm conditions with a high of 54 degrees and a low of 40 degrees. That's the news for October 12, 2010. Our producer today was Melissa Rigg. The assignment editor was John Kapp. The assistant producer was Jason Alexander, and our technical director was Marshawn Mathers. For the entire College Communications news team, I'm Travis Patterson. Have a good day.
This has been a presentation of students in Com 360 at Penn State University's College of Communications.